Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you. So guys, we're going to do something different today, right? And I did a live call on Discord, so thanks to all you guys who called in. And guys, once again, I dropped the link to the Discord on the lives. I try and go live Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesday afternoons and Thursday afternoons. So guys, check the community tab. And yeah, so for times. And guys, I realized that it's been so long since I watched the very first TCAP investigation that I'd forgotten completely about it, right? I forgot that it was called Dangerous Web and all that. It was so different. Like from the first one to the second one and the third one. Like even the first one to the second one was so different. Like it wasn't even called TCAP at the beginning, right? Like it's just crazy. Like I mean, I know some of the guys on here, but this is like watching this all over again. So guys, we're gonna react to this, and I'll probably break this up into a couple of parts here. So guys, we're gonna jump into Dangerous Web. But before we do, guys, please remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment. It really helps keep this channel going. Join the Discord, guys. I dropped the Discord in the live streams. And yeah, guys, let's just jump into this right now.
Dangerous Web. Here is Stone Phillips.
Dangerous Web with Stone Phillips. Guys, who names their kids Stone? What's a uncommon yet dangerous yet regal name we can go? How about Stone?
Good evening. Don't talk to strangers. It's a basic rule of safety every parent tells their child. But if there's a computer in your home, it's possible that your children have been talking to strangers. Tonight, we're going to show you just how dangerous it can be to let your child surf the web alone, and how quickly a stranger, maybe a sexual predator, can go from chatting with your teen in cyberspace to knocking on your front door. How easily can it happen? We found out in a Dateline hidden camera investigation. We want to warn you, some of what you're about to see and hear tonight is explicit. Here's Chris Hansen.
Listen to this music, man.
This is a house on an average street in an average town. It could be your town, but there's something very different about this place.
The back door's unlocked.
A major crime against a child is possibly being committed here. A crime that happens more often than you'd ever imagine. This grown man is here after making a date for sex with a 14-year-old girl he met only hours earlier.
Look at that Yahoo Personals, man. Look at that, man. Oh, man. You guys remember this? Who remembers Craigslist? Was it Craigslist Personals? What was that Craigslist? Craigs. You know, I don't even want to type it in, guys. I'll probably end up in some foolishness, you know? But I think they actually shut down Craigslist personal ads or whatever. So, anyways.
On the internet.
Just come on in, I'm finishing getting ready, okay?
Look at this.
Tonight, a Dateline hidden camera investigation exposes a very real threat to your children. Online sexual predators. You'll see firsthand how they find victims.
Look at how they zoom in on those hands, man. It's riveting, I tell you, riveting.
And seduce them. And you'll be watching as they take the next step and show up at a home where they think a minor is alone. The problem...
Guys, we should call this the Archway of Doom. Wait, where'd it go? Where he came in under the archway? Hold on. Oh.
Date for sex with a 14-year-old girl he met only hours earlier on the internet.
Just come on in, I'm finishing getting ready, okay?
Tonight, a Dateline hidden camera investigation as they take the next step and show up at a home where...
We should call that the Archway of Doom. But this is before they had the police involved, guys. So the first and second investigations, I believe this one and then Virginia. Yeah. These guys just walked straight out of there. Just jumped on the, jumped in the car and just Tokyo drifted out of there. So
where they think a minor is alone. The problem, as you'll see in our investigation, is epidemic. Just ask a group of middle school kids.
dude, these are middle schoolers. These are the middle schoolers that I remember back when I was young. If you look at middle schoolers now, like my nephew, he's almost 18. And like, I remember I picked him up from middle school and I'm like, what are they feeding these kids? Even the girls are all like 5'9". All the boys are like 6 foot tall. It's crazy, man. Like, I don't know. And I also think, nowadays, because of social media, teenagers and adults dress the same and listen to like the same music, right? So like it would be difficult to tell like a 15-year-old from like a 29-year-old if they're both wearing the same like hip hop style clothes or whatever, or like how you have these like 15-year-old girls and these 25-year-old girls all have that Kim Kardashian look. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? So guys, just mind your own business and leave stuff alone. You know what I'm saying?
Has anyone here been approached by a stranger in a chat room? These kids, ranging in age from 11 to 14, say it happens all the time.
It's just disgusting stuff that they send to me just to try to get me into looking at disgusting websites.
And many parents aren't as computer savvy as their children, making it tougher to protect kids from internet predators.
The combination of their social naivete and our computer naivete.
Of their social naivete and our computer naivete. Who uses the word naivete in any type of context? Are you serious? This lady sounds like a person that like it's like she went through like the thesaurus to find words that to make herself sound smarter. She's like, oh my goodness, I'm in front of Chris Hansen. And I can sound smart,
It's a dangerous combination.
1 in 5 children online in this country has been
like, for instance, I knew a guy, instead of like restaurants, he would say eateries. Guys, are there any good eateries around here? It's like, dude, stop saying that. Who says eateries? Guys, drop in the comments if you ever heard anyone say eateries in a common conversation or as part of their like everyday vernacular,
approached by adults looking for sex, according to a study funded by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
What the difference is now, like what those numbers are at now.
That large number doesn't surprise former FBI profiler and leading child sex.
All right, man, get out your laptop, put on your glasses, and look like you're concentrating really hard. It's for dramatic effect.
Crimes expert Ken Lanning.
There seems to be a bottomless barrel of cases. You go out there, and no matter what you do, there just seems to be more and more of these individuals.
Internet predators are very good at convincing you that they're your friend.
Shelley Riling of Danbury, Connecticut, had no idea about the danger lurking online for her 13-year-old niece, Chrissy, an honor student, altar girl, and co-captain of her cheerleading team. In May 2002, Chrissy told her aunt she was going to the mall to meet a friend. Instead, she met up with a stranger she'd met online.
That's how long ago this was. Look, guys, hold on.
Told her aunt she was going to...
Look, there's a Sears right there. All the Sears around here closed, man.
The mall to meet a friend. Instead, she met up with a stranger she'd met online, a 24-year-old married man named Saul Dos Reis. Prosecutors charge he took her for a ride in his car, sexually abused her, and then strangled her.
Damn, that's
Dos
cold,
Reis
man.
was convicted of first-degree manslaughter.
Manslaughter? Manslaughter? Now, I hope that means that he pled down to a lesser charge, right? And that they couldn't prove a deletion, so they gave him manslaughter. That's crazy, man. That's sad.
Saw the minister I knew, and I looked for Chrissy, and she wasn't there, and I knew they were going to tell me that she had been killed.
How do sexual predators find children like Chrissy on the internet? By going to a chat room like this one, scanning the profiles looking for a victim. Then they'll instant message that child. Very often, they'll get a message back. Usually, the chats start off friendly. Later, they'll get sexual. And finally, the predator will try to convince a child to meet in person.
And then the dong shots start coming. Pictures of the dongs, yeah.
Teenagers are rebellious. Teenagers are curious. Teenagers can have a strong interest in sex and all these characteristics. And so what many of these offenders are taking advantage of are these characteristics of teenagers.
Laws differ from state to state, but generally...
Speaking of that, you guys know that Law and Order sound, that doom doom, like when they go somewhere, I mean, when the scene changes, that's supposed to be a gavel. Hold on.
Sex and all these characteristics. And so what many of these offenders are taking advantage of are these characteristics of teenagers.
That doesn't sound anything like the sound on Law and Order. They tricked us, guys.
Laws differ from state to state, but generally it's against the law to use the internet to entice a minor to engage in sexual activity. It's also illegal to transmit obscene matter to a person under 16.
The fact that you use something like a computer and the internet, and that technology crosses state lines, that can also make it a federal violation.
Law enforcement agencies like the FBI and U.S. Customs have made catching internet predators a high priority, but they say the problem is just too big. Enter a group called Perverted Justice, a kind of online vigilante organization.
Man, the website still looks the same. All these years later. So at least they get an A+ for consistency, right?
Whose mission is to do what it believes law enforcement doesn't always have the resources to do. Make a full-time job of going after internet predators. And they do it by posing as kids online.
This is what a 13-year-old girl...
Look at Frag back in the day, man. Look at this guy. This is no hat, no Hawaiian shirt, man. I guess once they got a bigger budget, he can get a new wardrobe. He went to the, what was it? Tommy Bahama? What is that what it's called? Tommy Bahama shirts. Yeah. He went straight to the Tommy Bahama store, dude. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna spend this Dateline money. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Good old Frag, man. Look at that. And look at that. He also had some sun right there too. Like, usually he's pale as a ghost. And look at prime Chris Hansen. Look at that. That is like that is like prime, like fighting weight Chris Hansen, man. Look at that. Look at this. Look at the hair. That kind of tan he had going on there. Man, this is Chris Hansen. This is a young, doe-eyed Chris Hansen, man. Before he was battle hardened, you know?
Looks like at Perverted Justice.
At any given moment, one of Perverted Justice's 25 volunteers, some who say they were victims themselves of sexual abuse.
YouTube, I said Frag, okay? Don't delete my video. Frag, F-R-A-G, okay?
Troll internet chat rooms, usually through AOL and Yahoo, waiting to be approached by a predator.
Are these chat rooms really that creepy?
Oh, they're just loaded. I mean, you know,
Rooms, usually through AOL and Yahoo, waiting to be approached by a predator.
Are these chat rooms really that creepy?
Look at the drama. Are these chat rooms really that creepy?
oh, they're just loaded. I mean, you know, half the times we have to close down some of the windows. There's so many guys hitting on us that'll crash our machines.
While Perverted Justice has no authority to arrest the potential...
Look at their command center in this investigation as compared to the other ones, right? Because the other ones, they had a whole command center. Now, like, it's just Frag and Dell, and they're hanging out, right? But if this was nowadays, they would have like 4 or 5 phones and a tablet. You know what I mean? Like, that's how different things are now. So
potential predators it identifies, it sometimes aids in the criminal prosecution of those men. But many in law enforcement strongly oppose any civilian group conducting sting operations. Nevertheless, Perverted Justice exposes these individuals by posting their picture, phone number, and a copy of their sexual chat on its website. As a result, the men's family, neighbors, and employers are often notified by website visitors.
Why is this not entrapment?
Well, it's not entrapment. First of all, we're not a legal entity. Secondly, we're sitting in a chat room. We're not starting anything. They're having a conversation with us of their own free will.
Then, Perverted Justice volunteers will often engage in sexually explicit chats, coming on to a would-be predator to see if he'll take the bait.
If you don't trust me, that's cool.
It's one thing to chat online. The danger is far greater when it becomes person to person. So how many...
Look at that, guys. Look at these old school chat rooms, man. Man, oh man, oh man.
Many of these internet stalkers would actually make a date and show up to have sex with a teen. In other words, commit statutory rape. We decided to find out. More than a few sexual predators believe there's a minor waiting alone in this house. We're in for a big surprise. We've got our hidden cameras rolling, so stick around and wait to see who knocks on our door.
And we can't wait, can we, guys? Look at that. Dateline net crime. TCAP. Look at that. They didn't even have the intro music that we all know and love, you know? God, it's been so long since I've seen this. This is crazy.
It looks like we got another one added.
To follow the trail of an internet predator prowling for children, from seduction in a chat room to a face-to-face meeting, you need three things: a realistic setting, someone proficient in the teen speak of the internet, and a way to record it all.
This is real time.
This is real time. This is happening right now.
Save as.
We rented this house in a middle-class neighborhood on a main street far from any school. Our technicians rigged the house with hidden cameras.
Oh, wait, there it is. There's the whole command center right there.
Inside and out.
I bet that's him.
And we enlisted the help of volunteers from Perverted Justice, who make it their mission to expose some of the estimated 50,000 predators nationwide said to be trolling.
Oh, that has to be underreported, man. It has to be.
The internet at any given time. Volunteers like 21-year-old Dell.
Protecting little children from people who would destroy their lives. It's just such a worthy cause.
Dell and other volunteers like 38-year-old Frag were using their...
Man, why do people look so much younger now? Like I said, basically me saying that Frag just looks like shit. And I know that, like, there are a lot of us, you know, TCAP guys, you know, bag on Frag, you know, hey, it is what it is. Like, dude just has his fashion sense and it's like he takes himself way too seriously. And this is him, like, like, having the little microphone thing on his, like he's some secret agent in his shirt and all this stuff, you know. But, like, it's just so weird. Like, I'm 42 and, you know, I work out. I don't know. I don't stress out. So people think that I'm like 29 or whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm 42, you know? But like Frag looks middle-aged and he's 38. And even Dell was 21 at that point. And she looks a lot older than a lot of people that I knew at 21. That's for sure.
Undercover names go online, posing as 12, 13, or 14-year-olds, using a picture that is unmistakably underage. Some volunteers pretend to be girls and some boys. Either way, they never make the first contact. Instead, they wait to be seduced.
Now,
what's that dude's name from Community? The guy... Damn. Starburns! If you haven't seen Community, you guys, Check this show out, man. Hilarious. This guy, they call this guy Starburns because he has sideburns that are stars. Oh man, this is a great show. See, the last season kind of went to crap, but it's all good. I digress.
Explicit do you have to be to lure these guys in?
Well, we don't really have to lure them. They'll come to us. We go into these chat rooms. I haven't said a word to anybody. I'm sitting in the room, and the IMs start popping up, and they start coming on.
Sure enough, in a matter of minutes, the online chat becomes sexually explicit. This man, screen name Ed in NYC, thinking he's talking to a 13-year-old, says, "You feeling horny right now?" Another, Me for Magic NY, asks, "Are you
This is before they had the narrator, I guess.
a virgin?" The girl says, "Yeah." And then this 33-year-old proceeds to turn on his webcam, expose himself, then masturbate in front of a girl he believes is 13. Right then and there, this man may have committed a federal crime using the internet to transmit obscene matter to a person he believed to be underage. Other predators send pictures of themselves, then give their phone number, hoping for a call.
Hey, is this John? Hey, it's Mandy.
Dell, now posing as a 13-year-old girl, does exactly that. She tells the predator her parents aren't home and that it'd be okay for him to come to her house.
I was just making sure you were for real because I wanted to know you really wanted this.
There would be dozens of sexually graphic online chats intended for children. Chats so disgusting we can't even begin to show you.
Thank goodness.
There would also be picture exchanges and phone calls.
Oh, look at that
But how
guy.
many of these men would be willing to make a date and then be bold enough to walk in the door? We didn't have to wait long to find out.
Here they come.
We caught it all on our hidden cameras. Meet 35-year-old Steve, known on the internet as SR8219. He's a married man with children.
Just come on in.
SR8219. Let's look this guy up, guys. I'm not gonna read these chat logs. Sorry. What did they say? SR2819. SR2819. TCAP. Maybe not. Wait, that wasn't right. I didn't look up the right person. Hold on. What's this guy's name? Steve.
Online chats intended for children. Chats so disgusting
Just come on in.
and be bold enough to walk in the door. We didn't have to wait long to find out, and we caught it all on our hidden cameras. Meet 35-year-old Steve, known on the internet as SR8219.
SR8219. Let's try this, guys. I'm gonna try this once. Let's do. Oops. Perverted Justice. SR8219. Let me see. SR8219. SR8219. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Link to file. No, this isn't him. Oh well, I tried. You guys can't say that I didn't do my due diligence, okay?
He's a married man with children.
Just come on in and sit at the counter. I gotta finish getting dressed.
Dell, posing as a 14-year-old, invites him in. And even though there really isn't a 14-year-old in the house, this man still may be committing a crime, according to sex crimes expert Ken Lanning.
The federal law makes it pretty clear there doesn't have to be an actual child there.
And as far as Steve is concerned, there's a real 14-year-old in this house.
He just goes on in, you guys. Goes on in.
Just sit at the counter. I'll be right down, okay?
As for why he's here, after we read you part of his online chat, it will be pretty clear.
You on the pill?
No, you wear condoms?
If you want me to, but I'm sterile.
Okay, then you don't.
How many people believe that, right? And do you guys think that this is the actual conversation, right? And not just narrators? Because that sounds like Dell.
Have to wear a condom if you don't want to.
But before we have sex, I want you to make me.
He then assaults the girl with chat about oral and anal sex and even asks a series of deeply personal questions like, when do you get your period? And another offensive question about her personal hygiene. Law enforcement has a name for this kind.
Wait, 18. 82194. Am I completely wrong with this? Never mind, guys. I haven't had any coffee today, and I think that I'm transposing numbers. SR 82194. Let me try this again. SR 82194. Perverted justice. Okay. Let's see. Aha! Stephen Reddington. Ah, I did transpose the numbers. No coffee today, guys. It happens, right? All right. Stephen Reddington. Married man with children who use the screen name SR82194. Let's see. He met Chris Hansen. He, after exposed on national television, he walks out and says he doesn't give them permission to put him on TV. Yeah, wow. I'm not going to look at his chat log, guys.
Period. And another offensive question about her personal hygiene. Law enforcement has a name for this kind of guy, a potentially dangerous predator who goes from a chat room to a real-life meeting intent on an encounter.
And his thug life bandana on.
With a child. They're called travelers.
He starts to communicate online, and then he is going to travel to where the child is, or he's going to try to get the child to travel to where he is, also they can engage in actual sexual activity with the child.
But today, Steve won't have a chance for sex with a 14-year-old. Instead, he'll be meeting me. He seems to think I'm a police officer. I haven't told him yet I'm a television reporter, and at this point, he has no idea he's being videotaped.
I knew. You knew what? Exactly what was going on. Just take your hands out of your pocket.
Look at that.
Are you done?
Look at how he has his hands. Look,
being videotaped.
Look.
I knew. You knew what? Exactly what was going on. Just take your hands out of your pockets. Are you done?
And then he sounds like the dude from Sling Blade. What's the dude who played him? Help me out, guys. Sling Blade. Oh yeah, that was Billy Bob Thornton. That's right. Didn't he win like an Academy Award for this? I think he did, didn't he? Look at that. Look at that. Indeed.
Put him up. Okay, no problem. I know what was going on. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
It's pretty clear that Steve thinks he was caught up in a police sting. He says he was just coming over to check it out.
So you were obviously suspicious in the beginning.
Of course I am.
Of course
I'm
I am.
always suspicious.
Always. Do you do this a lot?
No, this is the first time I've actually did show up to see what was going on.
And you expect me to believe that?
Yes, I do.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
And how would you feel if one of your children was 13 or 14 years old, that child was home alone, chatting with somebody on the internet who ultimately came over with no parent at home? How would you feel about that as a parent?
I'd be pretty pissed off.
Right. You'll hear...
Dude, guys, look at... Okay. Look at bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Chris Hansen right here. Right? I still think that... Do you think that he knows at this point, he could have ever guessed that this first investigation would have changed the course of his life forever and the course of millions of people's lives? That what he's doing right here will become part of American culture, of criminal justice culture, popular culture, parenting culture, and internet culture, right? There's no way that he could have known. Him standing here talking to this first guy right here, there's no way that he could have even imagined what this would have led to, you know? Interesting.
Hear more from Steve later. Right now, there's another man walking down our driveway. He's the one who turned on his webcam to put on a little sex show. Now he's in our kitchen. He's 33-year-old Musti. Me for Magic, New York, and he's expecting to hook up with a 13-year-old virgin.
Just sit down at the counter for a minute and I'll be down in a second.
Just
Why is he wearing a shirt on top of his turtleneck? Guys, I'm not a fashionista or anything. If there's one thing that I don't like, it's turtlenecks, right? Because I don't like anything around my neck, right? I mean, I think that the closest thing that I had to that, anything around my neck all the time, was when I was wearing my puka shell necklaces back in the early 2000s. No, you guys will never see a picture of me wearing the pooks, okay? But I just can't wear turtlenecks, man. It's not happening. But this guy wears a turtleneck with a shirt underneath, drinking some Snapple, you know? So
hours earlier, after exposing himself online, he tells the girl he wants
have to adjust the beanie now, you know?
Oral sex before he takes her virginity. And if that's not disgusting enough, he continues to titillate himself by asking intimate questions, like the size of her breasts, and other questions too disturbing for us to mention.
So you talk this way to all your friends on the internet?
Yes.
About all these sex acts and in this graphic way?
Yes, and everybody talking like that, and they have a web site over there too.
It's like, what's his name? Mr. Man Bun. Oh, I say that to everyone. Look at this knucklehead, man. Oh, so he's got hold on. He has a turtleneck and a shirt on over it, and they're both tucked into his jeans. Oh, man.
So this is just a game to you?
Yes, it's a just game.
But is it a game when you send an obscene video?
Now, it sounds like you exposed yourself on a webcam.
Well, I'm telling you.
Did you or did you not?
I have a webcam too, and the other people have a webcam too, and we're playing.
You're playing?
We see each other and we're playing.
Yeah, what game were you playing on the webcam?
It's up to you.
He's playing a game of Polish the Old Bayonet. I'm jerking the old gherkin. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't know.
Our undercover operation has only been up and running for 2 hours, and already 2 men who chatted graphically about sex online and then made a date have come into the house looking for a young girl home alone.
Oopsie.
Watch our hidden cameras. You're about to see a lot more. This 30-year-old man, screen name Dark Hero, showed up expecting a date with...
Dark Hero. They call me Dark Hero. Oh man. Speaking of that, who remembers what was it, Darkman? Yeah. You guys remember Darkman? God, do you remember who played Darkman? Uh-oh. I don't want you guys to see. Guess. 3, 2, 1. Look. Liam Neeson, bro. This is like his breakout first thing he was in. Look at how young he is. Liam Neeson was Darkman. Look at that. Look at that, Darkman. Look at that. Yeah. Man, oh man. Liam Neeson, man, when he was really, really young. Yeah, man. Darkman's a decent movie. I mean, yeah, I think it was based on a comic book, but check it out, man. I mean, it's worth a watch.
The 13-year-old girl. It turns out he has a history of mental illness.
It turns out, okay, so if I remember right, and Josh, father, son, Jameson, who else? All you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but they blurred out his face because of his history of mental illness, so they didn't want him to delete himself. And the same reason why Vincent Ambrosio's segment wasn't aired by Hanson versus Predator is because they thought that he go running for the razors, as they say. So
with possible suicidal tendencies. So we've disguised his identity but included him in our report to illustrate how there's no telling what kind of unstable character might show up for a meeting with a minor. Listen as we read a little of what he said online to her just hours earlier.
I want to be your master so badly.
I've only been with one guy.
That's okay. I'll tell you exactly what to do. You'll be fine. Are you going to pose nude for me, sweetheart?
Maybe if you're really good.
Just sit down, counter.
Is that Dell and Frag reading the chat? I mean narrating the chat.
I want to finish getting dressed, okay?
Sit down where?
At the counter?
Okay, where the light is?
Yeah.
No. That other place where there's a other counter, you knucklehead.
Okay.
But instead of meeting his fantasy girl,
You thought it was a good idea to come visit a 13-year-old girl for what reason?
Just to hang out. Just a lonely guy, you know? I don't mean anybody any harm.
Have you ever done this before?
No.
You'll hear much more from Dark Hero later. So what kind of man seduces a minor and then shows up in person?
The same one that calls himself Dark Hero on the internet.
Former FBI profiler Lanning says it's a man who can't control himself.
Once these fantasies become fueled by the discussions with the child, then in a sense the hook is in. This individual then is committed to this and then is drawn to trying to turn these fantasies that they've spent so much time into a reality.
Our little house in the suburbs has become the destination for a parade of potential predators. In the first 8 hours of our investigation, 8 men show up, one after the other, from early afternoon into the evening, none of them realizing their every move is being recorded.
Oopsie.
Each man made a date on the internet and believes a minor is home alone and open to the idea of sex. Remember this man, screen name Ed in NYC? He's 34-year-old Eddie, and when he shows up at the house, he tries something none of the others did. Before he'll come into the kitchen, he comes up with a scheme to insulate himself from possible criminal charges.
Now, guys, this is how you know. Okay, having lived on the West Coast and on the East Coast, this is how you know people are from the East Coast. There are no Eddies, Vinnies, Frankies on the West Coast. It doesn't happen. All right. People go by Ed or Edward, but they don't go by Eddie. You know what I'm saying?
And he tries to get the girl to play along.
Okay, listen, just say something to me.
What do you want me to say?
And say, Rachel, you're 19 years old, right?
I'm not, though. You know I'm not.
I don't know that.
I was 14. You saw it. You said back to me. What are you talking about?
No. Not as far as I know.
Look at that grin on it. Look at that goofy look on his face, man. Man, oh man, oh man. Look at that. Tell me that you're 19, Kai.
As far as I know, you're 19 years old, right?
Oh, please.
Rachel, can you read between the lines?
Rachel, can you read between the lines? Come on, man. What is like? Dude, you are not clever, man.
When I walk in, Eddie admits he was trying not to incriminate himself.
My intentions are not anything, so I just want to protect myself, that's all.
But she told you on the internet she was 14.
19, she wrote me after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what.
Is that dandruff on the back of his shirt? Come on, man. Get some head and shoulders, bro.
On the internet?
Yes.
You want to stick with that story?
That's what I thought she wrote.
You want to see the transcript?
I'm sure you have it.
The fact that Eddie is so cunning doesn't surprise law enforcement experts.
I wonder if Chris Hansen meant that in that. And if he was being sarcastic when he was saying he was cunning, you know?
Not only are they not stupid, but they're probably above average intelligent. They can be a wide variety of individuals, but a lot of them are well-educated individuals.
We'll get back to Eddie later. There are more men on the way. The second day of our investigation turns out to be just as busy as the first.
Yikes.
8 hours, 8 men.
Wow. So, all right, you guys, we're going to cut this off here, and we're going to do this in another part. And maybe I might bring up some of these knuckleheads chat logs and go through that. So, You guys, let me know if you remember this first one or not. And if you haven't seen it before, let me know what you think. Like, think about all of the Florida ones, the Ohio stings. I'm sorry, guys. The Ohio sting, you know what I mean? The Riverside one, the change and the production quality, right? The fact that they gave them a budget and they actually, like, you know, went all in. So, what do you guys think of the difference in the production? So, all right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next one. Join the Discord, like, subscribe, join the live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I am out of here. Have a good one, guys.